Most people use AI as a glorified search engine, as a, well, smart Google search. But what would happen if you stop talking to it and start delegating to it? This can make your life so much easier, save you so much time. But I understand it's really, really stressful and hard to start the process. Welcome to my channel. I am Megan and I'm an IT manager figuring out AI one mistake, one breakthrough, one tool at a time, and all because you don't have to. So today we are diving into a new feature in Copilot called Cowork that was released this week, and I have been digging in my toes a little bit at a time, and I must say it's not exactly what I thought it would be. So, for today, I'm going to keep it brief. I think I am going to show you a little bit about what Cowork looks like. As you can see on my screen, we have the chat feature, which is the normal Copilot, as well as Cowork. And you can see I haven't used it too much yet, but let's dig into it. There's a lot of functions that's very similar to Claude. We can build some skills in a little bit. But for now, just in terms of the UI, you can start your normal tasks. You can tell it what to do. Obviously, there is some quick try next skills. You can see they have a lot of pre-populated skills, which is very helpful, but majority of these are mostly for corporate day-to-day tasks, maybe just to minimize the mundane repetitive tasks. You can see there is triage, research, create, even automate, which makes it a lot easier, especially the fact that I do not have any coding experience, and now I can automate most of my mundane repetitive tasks. So this is a great stack of pre-built skills. And then obviously we've got search when you've got a lot of content or history scheduled. This is for scheduled automations if you want something to run that you have built in your skills. And then customize, which we will go through in a bit. But these are to create some custom skills for yourself. Um, Today, I also just want to go through some of the features. I was at the Microsoft office last Friday and they showed us some cool stuff that Cowork can do. And I must say, I am impressed. So, the first one that I am going to do is I am going to create a dashboard. And as you know, Copilot is not the strongest in visuals, even when it comes to PowerPoint presentation, which we'll dig in as well. But for now, I'm just going to give it a start. And just to let you know that there is a new, fancy, very exciting feature. So we got the lowdown. They were talking about HTML dashboards. For the ones that doesn't know, it's basically a dashboard that looks like it is a website. So I am going to do that. I created some mock data that I'll be dropping here to utilize for the dashboard. So basically, it's just some mock data on Copilot activity. At work, we are tracking the adoption quite closely, what works, what doesn't work, and do training accordingly. So I'm just going to use this as an example because I think this would be very useful in my job. You can obviously put any other document there that you want to track stats on or have a dashboard on, anything that is repetitive. So I am going to give this one a try. It may take some time. So, okay, so I am back with some results. This took about 5 minutes to 7 minutes, let's say, to produce. You can see here the thought process that it went through. Even if you click on it, it tells you exactly which steps it followed. And then it's telling me my dashboard is ready, and it's saving it under this name. So what it's done, it's giving me a little rundown of what the output would be. So generally, this is not as helpful, but sometimes if you put 2 or 3 documents, so for instance, I would put maybe a 30-day, a 90-day, and a 180-day usage, and ask it to do a comparison, right? So this document I can easily do in Excel, very quick, very basic, but when it comes to a little bit more complex queries, I think this is very helpful. So it gave me the output, and let's see what it generated. Isn't that amazing? That is a tiny, tiny step up from Copilot. No, I'm joking. This is amazing. This is actually quite accurate with mock data, which is quite cool. You can see it's a great layout. It is very accurate. Um, and it gave me exactly what I wanted and more. When you have a look at this engagement segment, it went a step further, and it arranged them via activity. So we have a lot of power users here in this organization, in mock organization, moderate, light, and inactive, so 17% inactive. And even if you go a little bit further, I'm sure you can ask it to give you the names of the inactive team members, so that you can maybe take some actions. I know that there's another feature where you can ask it to give you some recommendations as well. So that is something that you can try out. But as you can see, this is fairly easy and very, very impressive. So for my next step, what I'm going to do, I know one of the biggest frustrations that Copilot used to create for me was creating a presentation. You would give it the specifications, the visual identity, and it would just not adopt it. Sometimes it gets it right, sometimes it gets it wrong, sometimes the formatting is all wonky, and even if you ask it to fix it, it's not its strong point. I think all of us can agree. So I am just going to go ahead and ask it to create a PowerPoint presentation for us of this data. So here we go, presentation of this data. Let's see what it does. Okay, so I am back with a PowerPoint presentation. I think this took about 4 minutes to 6 minutes to generate, but apparently the quality of the PowerPoint presentations of Cowork is much better than Copilot. So moment of truth, let's see what it gives us. Okay, this is already much better. I know everyone knows how bad and scrambled the Copilot presentations are with PowerPoint. I generally don't use it because it's not a strong suit, but I think I can do this. I think this is usable. And if you upload or feed it your visual identity, your colors, your fonts, those types of things, what you want it to look like, I think it will be even more appropriate. You can do that in any way that you want. You can do it by a once-off, or you can create a skill with all your markdowns for your presentation. So this is it. This was very cool. So next up, I think we are going to chat about the skills and how it compares to Claude skills. So as I showed you earlier, you can find your skills here under customization. This is what it will look like. You've got plugins and skills. So you can see that I already tried out one. I didn't complete it. I thought I'd do that here, but just in terms of how it works, if you want to create a custom skill, you can see that it already has some built-in skills like PDF, Word, and Excel. So that is the minimum that you will get with any generation. You can upload skills, and then if you have a template already, then create your custom skills. So it will ask you generally the same questions as Claude does. I can say that it is a little bit more restrictive with the output at this moment of what I've seen. So it will kind of point you in the right direction more in terms of corporate skills. So I am not going to go through the whole process, but it does exactly the same. It'll ask you a few questions, and then you can save your skill and retrieve it by using your chat and say, use X skill. So now that we've dug into some of the features of Cowork, it is new, it is awesome. But again, like I said, it's not what I expected. You kind of think when you see these features that it's going to make your life easy. You can use it in so many scenarios, but it does come with a caveat of price. If you are someone that's going to use it in your corporate life, that is definitely something that you have to consider. I think it is about 1 cent USD per token or per credit. And you do get discounts the more credit you use, but in terms of the pay as you go, it will be 1 cent per credit for your usage. So I did hear about a little tip saying you can type out the word cost and it'll give you the exact cost of what that prompt cost you. Okay, so I tried it. It didn't work. It failed. It gave me a cost breakdown of what our organization has as capacity, what it's using, how can I save, which is also very helpful. However, it was a fail. I hope this was helpful and useful, and I hope that this impresses the heck out of someone that you need to give a dashboard for next time, or that it makes your life a little bit easier. In the next session, I'm going to cover a little bit more of basics. I'm going to take normal terminology, the jargon, and break it down a little bit. So, hope to see you there. Thanks for joining.